It says I'm live. I've never actually gone live. Oh, that reflection of the light isn't that good. But hey, guys, this is Pat Dees. I'm on the channel Money Me, and I wanted to test this instead of using StreamYard, see if I could go live from the YouTube studio. And I've never done that before. I used to use the Google Hangouts. So, but I'm not sure. Oh, are you watching? Okay. So we're gonna. I don't know how the market's been treating you, but the market. Oh, there's two in there now. The market has been terrible. This I don't know what live or hey Craig, what's up? No, I'm in the dining area and I'm testing out the live YouTube studio. So I want to see how. But there's a lot of light in the background here, so I almost should cut that light out. But testing to see how and talk a little bit about the market and what's been going on. But the market has been brutal. I'll talk a little bit about some of the stocks that I follow and just how brutal it's been. A lot of stocks have been down 50% just in the past. Um, oh, can I make a moderator on here too? Oh yeah, here, Craig. I'll make you a moderator on this channel. There you go. But the Nasdaq, I mean the market. Okay, so this is a little spontaneous. What I want to do is to help kind of build up the watch hours in the future. Is maybe do some business conversations about real estate and stuff like that. No, I won't send you a bill for it. I still got to establish some things on this channel yet, but just haven't gotten to that point. Obviously I'm following one of the stocks I'm going to do a video on this week is called Fubu. Fubu is down like 30 some dollars. The stocks that seem to be working right now actually are Ford, AT&T. Those two stocks we've owned and traded. Tesla, we actually got involved with last week and had a put on it and bought the put for $300 and sold it for $1,000 about an hour later. But then I did I did a put on Exxon on Friday, but I only had like $100, and then did another for 200 and lost that. So out of that, almost $700 profit, gave back 350 back on Friday. But I want to get to the point where eventually that people could call in ahead and ask about certain stocks, and then we could feature them. Now I'm doing this off the laptop. Typically, when I do it in my office on the desktop, I have two screens, so then I could do a screen share and pull up charts and stuff like that. So if you guys want to comment below on what certain stocks you'd like me to feature and show on the channel, please let me know. The market, it's 6 o'clock at night when I'm doing this. Who's printing? Let me see if there's a future indication as far as the futures. Yeah, I'm trying to look. Might be still a little bit too early, 6 o'clock, to see what the futures, what's going to go on. But I would not, if I was anybody, I wouldn't be dumping no big money in any stock right now. I would just slowly be just doing the normal dollar cost averaging into mutual funds, and stick with doing that. So, all right, hey, I'm going to end this early just because I wanted to test this out to do this, and so Ford and AT&T I like, but there's a lot of stocks that even if they do go up, they're going to have so much because people have bought in even a month ago that there's going to be a lot of back and forth that I don't see many people actually. There's going to be opportunities to make money. Hey, Tiny, what's up? I'm testing this out to. I've never gone live before from the laptop using the YouTube studio. Usually, I typically use StreamYard. Tiny, are you? No, we never gave out wrenches here because we don't go live here. So no, that wasn't the case there. But Craig just came in and well, like I said, tested. I don't even to give a wrench on this is a little bit different than it is in the StreamYard. Are you following any stocks right now, Tiny? This channel is not monetized, and there's certain restrictions and certain things I can't do and can do, and I'm still learning even how this works from the laptop with the software here. I don't like doing it from the laptop, honestly. I can do YouTube Studio from my desktop because I have two monitors because I want to be able to have the ability to pull up a screen. Um, wow. Somebody here is thinking that Twitter is going to go to 25. I was short Chewy last week, and Chewy actually went down. I was long Chewy, lost some money in it, got out of it, and went short Chewy on Thursday at 50 some, and then covered it for 5 points down on Friday. So, oh, you're following GE. Can you share screen with Studio? I'm not sure. Again, this is my first time doing this on here like this. I do again. I'm sitting in the dining room, and I've been wanting to do a video on stocks. I was just doing orders for, and if anyone doesn't know, and wow, now the more people are starting to come in and watch. So if you guys are interested in certain stocks that you want to talk about, I am going to do a video tomorrow on Fubo, Fubo. Tiny is in here. Ed G. He just mentioned General Electric. Yeah, I know. I never have either. So this is my first time doing it. But let's check out GE. Now, GE did a reverse, I think, 5-for-1 stock split. So GE is at 101.40. It closed at on Friday. It was actually up 1%. But yeah, it really hasn't done much. The 52-week low split adjusted on it is the year-to-date return is 7.34%, but the 52-week low is 85, and the 52-week high is 116. Oh, that's weird that happened. It was an ad on the CNBC app that I'm looking at. So sorry about that. I don't know why it's doing that. What the hell are you laughing at? I don't know why it's doing that. Yeah, I don't know why, but it pulled up an ad. But GE, the 5 and 10-year high, well, the 10-year high was $253.77 on July 20th, 2016. And then in 2017, it was 243. So, Craig, do you follow any other stocks? I know me and Ed G, who's in the chat, used to follow Viacom a lot, and I hate that. I sold Exxon the other day. Got out of Exxon because it was trading between 57 and 63 and back and forth. So I got out of it the other day and got into Fubu, and it ran like 7 points. So I gave up about $700, and then I bought Fubu, and it's down like a dollar. So it's down like $700. So anytime you think that you could time it, but Roku's been getting hit. Roku, that was a stock I didn't do good. Actually, one of the stocks I just got into in one of the accounts. Oh, okay. No, I don't really follow football that much, Tiny. But I just got into Ollie's. Ollie's, I just got into 49 and change. That stock was $123. $123, and I'll do a video on that this coming week. So I'm going to do a video on Fubu this coming week. I'm going to do a video on Ford and AT&T and Ollie's. Now, AT&T and Ford. How many Xmas lights have you bought to sell for Xmas? Actually, didn't buy none this year. I bought some in the past, And what happened was I went into Target for clearance, and I have a video actually coming out on my other channel. And they had 2 sets left. And the problem is if you're trying to sell them on Amazon, or anyone who follows me on my other channel, a lot of times you can't sell them because of certain names. You're gated in them. So I did buy some a year ago and did okay with them. I think I bought probably 80 sets and sold probably around 40 of them, but not this year. Yeah, I bought into Ollie's, the discount store. Yeah, it's basically near a 52-week low right now, and the company trades at about 18 times earnings. The market cap is only $3 billion, and they're constantly growing. A lot of pressure is going to be on. There's 9 people in here, guys. If you could give me 9 thumbs up to match the 9 people in here, I greatly appreciate it. I'm really surprised. This was just basically a test to kind of see what was going on, or if I could go live from the studio. So, and if you guys could comment below, greatly appreciate it. We're going to be doing more videos on the channel. We're going to be talking about real estate. We're going to talk about real estate in Florida. We're going to talk about real estate locally here. I live in Pennsylvania, and where do they see the real estate market in the next year? I'm going to be interviewing some local real estate. So we're going to talk about, basically, we talk about all things money here. Now, it is favored towards stocks and options. It's favored towards stocks and options a lot because there's always some sort of stock of the day that you can talk about, and that's what makes it easy to identify a stock, because there's always some sort of stock that makes a crazy move. We got Tesla. Tesla was up like 200 points in 2 days when they came out. All right, thanks, Ed. But they came out with news, and then all of a sudden, the next 2 or 3 days, it gave it right back. Now, here's a stock, GameStop. GameStop the other day was up 30 points just because they talked about getting into the NFT market. That's another thing I want to do. Is I have a friend who last year, working with Tops, I don't know what, when we last talked to him, he had an interview, he made over $80,000 selling NFTs. But a lot of the NFTs are paid in crypto. So, he could have made $80,000, but the value of crypto has gone down too. So you had the last I saw, Bitcoin was in the 40-some thousand range when it was earlier, about 6 months ago, was in the 60-some thousand range. Now, he didn't take Bitcoin. He took the other one. Was that Ethereum? I think it's called Ethereum. I mean, there's so many of them now that it's kind of crazy. I'm not a big fan of crypto. I don't know if you guys have saw the news. I just saw something on Facebook today that I think it's over in Europe. They're digging in a landfill for someone that has a computer supposedly with $350 million worth of Bitcoin on it, and they're digging up the landfill. Now, could you imagine how expensive that is? I mean, how would you do that? I mean, to have the labor hours and the way it is here in the United States, a lot of times when they fill that, and they got to cap that every day. And I'm familiar with the landfill business because we have them near us. A lot of garbage comes from Pennsylvania and New York into Pennsylvania. And I knew people that used to be in that business and people that work there. And so, I mean, maybe they worked out a deal that if they find it, they get half the Bitcoin. Who knows? But I mean, I'm sure to kind of dig that up, I mean, you're talking hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars in money. But again, that's why I'm not a big fan of crypto, because I really, in a sense, the hard drive is what's worth the money. Or, I mean, should they be able to, if it's in a person's name, should they be able to access that through some sort of code or I mean, it's like us. If you get a certificate of deposit here in the United States, and you lose that certificate, you don't lose the money. You basically go there and say, "Hey, I lost my certificate," but they pull up your social security, because nowadays the certificates aren't even that fancy. They're just like a piece of paper that says you have a certificate of deposit. I remember when I first got a certificate deposit in my 20s, it's sort of the paper that they used to print it on used to make it look like it was sort of like a stock certificate, and it had a fancier look to it. Now it's just like your loan papers. It's printed on a piece of paper and just says certificate of deposit. But I know before the past, I've walked into the bank and say, "Hey, I got a certificate of deposit," and boom, you could cash it right in and just sign, show your ID, and that. But now the banks aren't even hardly giving anything. I mean, less than 0.5%. And I think that's why a lot of people have gotten involved into the market, and are interested in the market, because the bank doesn't give you nothing anymore. The bank doesn't give you nothing, but yet they want to charge you still 25-30% on your credit cards, which is crazy, because basically what happens is, you charge $1,000 on your credit card to make the minimum payment. It's going to take you 3 or 4 years just to pay that off. So, that's part of what we want to talk about in the future here. Really want to educate people, and using my background as far as business, trading stocks, and being a landlord, and doing different things with money, and even making mistakes in business along the way, and having had 800 employees over 17 years when I was in the restaurant business, and kind of talk about those things and stuff like that. I've been actually talking to the local University of Scranton College, maybe about going in and basically sort of doing like you get a lot of people that kind of want to get into business sometimes, especially the restaurant business, and they don't really know much about it, but they have the ability to borrow money, and they're good cooks at home, and they think that they should get in the restaurant business. And that doesn't mean nothing. You got to really understand. There's a lot to restaurants to understand now anymore, and mom and pops, it's even harder. If I had to do it all over again, I would have stayed into a franchise business that I was, instead of trying to establish a mom and pop, because mom and pops, you're always going to face that uphill battle that people will go to a name brand. If I was going to start out like Pat's Shoes, you're not going to compete with Nike unless somebody big gets behind, and that's where people, sometimes, why do they play Shaquille O'Neal, or when Kobe was alive, or Michael Jordan, $50 million, because that guy's going to generate $400 million. I don't know if you guys ever maybe think about, ever see this story about Shaquille O'Neal. He had a $40 million contract with Reebok, and some lady was chewing him out how much the shoes were, and he said, "You're right." And he called up Reebok and told him to keep the money, and he broke his agreement, and he went and made affordable shoes, and then sold them. He has a partnership with Walmart, and has now sold over $400 million worth of shoes. So he's making more money actually from the deal at Walmart, offering affordable sneakers, where they can basically go in and buy a nice pair of sneakers for $25 versus having to spend $150, $200. Oh, I know. Yeah. Back in the late 70s and early 80s, earning 14%. I remember when I was younger and I was working in a beer distributor, and guy was talking about how mortgages were that much money. Now, I mean, you can get a mortgage for 3 or 4%, which is a good deal. But now, over the last 2 or 3 years, the price of a lot of houses in certain areas has gone up. Do me a favor. It looks like we have 8 people in here right now. Could you type in the chat what state you're from? I mean, I know Ed's from Pennsylvania, and Landshark Picker is from Alabama and stuff like that. But I was actually here working on stuff, and like I said, I wanted to go live. I had somebody, I don't know if you guys follow, one of the things is one of my friends is, I'm sent Alabama, Susie Orman. I constantly always like to learn, and me and I call him Tiny, Ed G. We kind of always have this debate whether you should own or rent, and I always like to, hey, John Jones, thanks for, John, you're in New Jersey? Oh, okay, I didn't know that. IA. What is IA? Idaho? Is that Idaho? Let me look it up. Now I feel like a dummy if I don't know what IA is. Let me see. IA. IA state. Let me. Ohio. Oh, okay. Ohio. Okay. Oh, Perlini, thank you for being here. California, welcome. Thanks for listening. And how is everybody doing tonight? And I like to eventually get more watch time on this channel, but I like to even talk more business and basically all things money here. And hold on. Someone just sent me, so sorry about that. Someone just sent me a text. I want to make sure. Um, Yeah, California, Ohio, Jersey, Pennsylvania, Alabama. I like to get more people. Hey, Adam, welcome. Thanks for coming. Adam, thanks for supporting me on my other channel with what we're doing with the eBay and stuff like that. So this channel, and I am going to do more things often. I want to put out honestly 3 to 5 videos a week, and obviously I need the watch time to this channel is not monetized, so all this is done for free, but I really want to get to a point. I'm trying to get to the point where I talked to our local college where maybe we would go in and for like $25, people would come in and maybe we would talk to a lot of people don't understand about opening a 401k. Like I just convinced my wife, she's been working at her company right now. She is back. We used to own Subways and she's back in, she oversees Subways and has her own store there and for a big company, and they offer matching up to a certain amount. And over the last 2 years, she's probably put in roughly about $3,000, which is approximately $30 a week. That's pretty much what she's been putting in. And already with the match, she's doubled her money in the last 2 years. That's one thing to keep in mind is with the 401k that you get a company match. Even if it doesn't grow, you automatically get 100% return. So if you're putting in 2,000 and they're putting in 2,000, right off the bat, you're getting 100% return. It's free money. Plus, you get the deduction. And I apologize for a little bit of the bright sun or the light in the background. See, if I put my hand up like that, it kind of blocks it. My wife is back here working on her computer. See, yeah, exactly. Those years go by fast. And I was thinking about this today. How many places, if you left your job, would they give you for example, you work at a place for 10 years. How many places would give you a $25,000 check when you leave? They wouldn't. I mean, it's not, and it's getting worse because a lot of companies aren't kind of doing those types of things. But if they're giving her $2,500 a year and to save money in a 401k, think about it. In 10 years, they just gave her $25,000. Even at a normal 5 or 6 minimum percent return, she's gonna that $25,000 will turn into approximately about $32,000 over those 10 years. That's nice. I mean, 10 years down the road, she walks away from the job and she has, not including what she put in, but you walk away with about $50,000-$60,000. So it's never too late. She's just turned into her 50s and obviously still has about 15 years to retire. And it's never too late to start retirement, IRA, 401k. If you're self-employed, which a lot of people that follow me on my other channel, now a lot of times people say, oh, I can't afford it. I say a lot of times you can't afford not to do it because the way that the system is set up to encourage people for the tax benefit of it, because what happens is when you put that money in there, it's pre-taxed. So if you put in, for example, $1,000 in a year and you were paying 25% tax, you're saving yourself $250. And plus, at the end of the year, a lot of times they're giving you the government's giving you $200 or $300 instant credit. So not only are you saving $500 right there, and then the company's even doing a match, you're just crazy not to do it. I encourage both my sons to do it. Now, my youngest son, he's been working at his job for 2 years, and he's doing it, and it's built up to a nice little already for being 21 years old. He's got a nice little start. That's what I want to say. But kids, when they have $10,000 or $15,000, they think that's the world. And if he had to stop working tomorrow, $10,000 or $15,000 wouldn't go far, or nothing. I mean, because you need typically $20,000 to $25,000 just to get by a year. So that kind of money, $15,000 would go. But at his age, if he never put nothing in it right now, $15,000 by the time he retired when he's 65, and I always try to tell him, I say, hey Josh, Dad's not going to be here when you retire, but even if he didn't add another dime to it tomorrow and didn't touch it and got 10%, we're talking like he would have roughly $150,000 to $200,000. Now, if he continues on the path that he's doing, and there's no reason why he can't retire a millionaire. And Social Security is going to look much different 40 some years from now. Pretty much it'll be just buy a couple groceries and pay the gas, the electric bill or something like that. So, hello, Ed. You saying hi to me or hi to Perlini? Perlini's really nice. She says hi to everybody. So I thank everybody for being here. This is really my first live in a long time on this channel and stuff. And I'm talking all this off the cuff of my head, and I do appreciate everybody that is here. And how many people in the chat have an IRA or a 401k? If you type in yes or no. Everybody thinks even when if you're working for yourself, you should have one. Type yes or no if you have some sort of retirement, 401k or IRA. That's one of the things I like to do, is actually go into like a college and do something where somebody would come in, like we would do it like a 2-hour seminar, and somebody would pay me like $25, and we would talk about, I've always said to my wife, I'd love to go into, Home Depot. I remember my son when he worked for Home Depot and Amazon, and he didn't want to do the IRA, and then I convinced him, and he never rented. He bought a house about 6 years ago. I did the negotiations for him, and his mortgage is $550 a month. Okay, you were flirting with Perlini. I got to keep an eye on you, Tiny. He didn't want to do it, but he pays $550 a month, which includes his insurance and his taxes. He's got a 2-bedroom house with an extra spare room, a nice full basement, and he's got a 1-car garage. And his taxes are cheap. His taxes are probably only about, school taxes and property taxes are roughly about $1,500, $1,600 a year. And he lives near Scranton, Pennsylvania. If he lived in Scranton, Pennsylvania, it would be double over there, just because of the issues that they've had with some of the money, the way it's been getting spent, and they made some poor choices in the past. Now, they say that Joe Biden, I don't know, lived there till he was 2 or 3 years old. I'm not sure, but they went and named a road after him. But you would think that with him being there, that some money would come Scranton's way. Kind of like, hey, patriotism, thank you, or they always do stuff. I mean, if they could spend money to change the road. So I'm hoping that maybe in the next 3 or more. Well, this is his second year, that between now and the next 3 years, maybe they can do something to kind of get Scranton. Scranton's underrated. They can get Scranton out of the, I don't want to say gutter because it sounds bad, out of the hole, I guess. But I don't know. I think Scranton has a lot to offer. Scranton has good hospitals. There's a lot of jobs locally. They've even built more warehouses. There's a lot of shopping complexes. There's a sports stadium. We're not far from even the country. So you can go a half an hour away and still enjoy the country. It's not like you're stuck in a big city and stuff. So Ed G's laughing because they were teasing about the the Joe Biden highway and stuff like that. But not here to talk politics. We're here to talk money, and I just wonder how it will affect Scranton and stuff like that. So I see no one answered the IRA question. I guess it's not if you want me to know your balance or not. If you have an IRA or a 401k. So I wish I could go into do that college and then kind of film it and film people's questions and my answers up on a whiteboard and then upload that video here on Money Me and share that with you guys. And, that way, if someone couldn't, for example, come and upload it for free, because again, I don't get paid to do this. But if I went, let's say that night and made $150 for doing that, because a lot of times what you have to do is you have to rent that space or room. But if you did it enough and got people interested in stuff, I'd love to go into Home Depot and talk about 401ks and kind of show examples and do a quick thing where instead of, like, say, a half an hour lunch that day, they would get 1 hour. They'd eat their lunch. Oh, for sure. Yeah. I think it's $20 million or something they're in debt, which is a lot for that area. I mean, they can't collect enough in property taxes, and there's a lot of issues with unions, with the firefighters and stuff like that. But if I could, like, imagine going to like a Home Depot where I could talk to the employees and like a half an hour after lunch, and Home Depot would just pay me a flat fee to be there for that day. The problem is COVID changed a lot of things the last 2 years, and that people don't want you around, or you can't be close to people, can't sit, and until that goes away, something like that I'm talking about is going to be very hard to implement, because there's still even a lot of people working from home. Uh, yeah, there's a delay. A lot of times, Tiny, there's a delay in the chat. There's a lag and stuff like that. So that's why. And I was trying not to hope I didn't offend anybody, because I don't talk politics. I wasn't. I just mentioned it because there's a connection there, and there's obviously because you live in our area. In case anyone doesn't know, Ed G's an old friend of mine, used to come in my restaurant, and he was he used to carve bears and stuff like that. And I still have a bear from him that I got when we actually had Subway restaurant, and he carved a bear out of an old tree that we had. And so he lives only about probably 6 miles away from me. So not many people. It's funny about how YouTube works. It's very hard to get your friends or your family to support you on YouTube and understand exactly what you're doing. And that's the tough part. So, but I'm going to end it right there. I think I said enough. I think I appreciate the people that did come by. I appreciate the support, and watch out for more coming in the future. And I appreciate anyone that's watched or could share it out and subscribe to the channel. I appreciate the support. So I'm trying to build up this channel and get to eventually where it's monetized. And my other channel, Pat D's, the Traveling Picker, or the Traveling Picker Pat D's, definitely working a lot on that. And this is what I do for a living now. So, this is really important for me that this stuff works. And I do appreciate everyone just really sitting here and listening to me for a little over half an hour. You guys have a great week, and I'll see you again. Bye-bye.